racing in the breeze. I saw the beach, I bought a tea. It's hot as geese, it's 100 degrees. Apply the lotion, I'm swimming the ocean. There was a commotion, I'm sinking, I'm floating. The defense tuned the cable, and I'm sleeping when I'm able. But the defense on so loud it hurts my brain, 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 brain. The defense tuned the cable, and I'm sleeping when I'm able. But the defense on so loud it hurts my brain, 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 brain. Doritos, Doritos, mosquitoes, eating Doritos with Danny DeVito. Jeez Louise, I'm weak in the knees. I'm joining the circus, I'm going the circus. At 7-Eleven, I'm drinking a beverage. I'm lying to strangers, I'm looking for danger. I'm chewing bazooka, I'm swimming to Cuba. Don't look at Medusa, she'll turn you to stone. Okay, I went to France to get some new pants. I went to Greece to get something to eat. He said shit, all we got Doritos and Fritos. I said, give me all of those fucking Doritos and Fritos. Yeah, I saw a bee, it flew into a screen. I need some sleep, so turn down that TV. He said shit, all we got Doritos and Fritos. I said, give me all of those fucking Doritos and Fritos. The defense tuned the cable, and I'm sleeping when I'm able. But the defense on so loud it hurts my brain, 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 brain. The defense tuned the cable, and I'm sleeping when I'm able. But the defense on so loud it hurts my brain, 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 brain. Doritos, 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 Doritos.
I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make 'em all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. I fly like paper, get high like planes. If you catch me at the border, I got visas in my name. If you come around here, I'll make 'em all day. I get one down in a second if you wait. Sometimes I think sitting on trains. Every stop I get to, I'm clocking that game. Everyone's a winner, we're making our fame. Bonafide hustler, making my name. Sometimes I think sitting on trains. Every stop I get to, I'm clocking that game. Everyone's a winner, we're making our fame. Bonafide hustler, making my name. All I wanna do is take your money. 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 Pirate skulls and bones, sticks and stones and weed and bombs. Running when we hit 'em. Lethal poison for the system. Pirate skulls and bones, sticks and stones and weed and bombs. Running when we hit 'em. Lethal poison for the system. No one on the corner has swagger like us. Hit me on my banner, prepaid wireless. We pack and deliver like UPS trucks. Already going hell, just pumping that gas. No one on the corner has swagger like us. Hit me on my banner, prepaid wireless. We pack and deliver like UPS trucks. Already going hell, just pumping that gas. All I wanna do is take your money. 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 M.I.A, third world democracy. Yeah, I got more records than the KGB. So no funny business. You already are.